How's it going, guys? Raven here again, and I decided I want to showcase deck. I love Red. I think it's super fun to play. I played it at Gen Con, had a really good time, and I love aggro, so I figured I would try to make use of GZ and Yuki. The combo is bonkers, and it's just very, very strong. So I made a Dragonholt Sola deck, and I put quite a bit of time into testing this build out. I really, really enjoy it. I kind of put it together with the meta in mind. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna showcase to you guys my deck today. So let's get at it. We got Dragonholt, the Dracoborg. Very strong card. I think this card's gonna get really, really good the further we get into the game. Being able to just pay one, discard, get fire unit, get any dragon. The more dragons come out, the better this is going to get. And then Sola, once again, really to utilize Yuki, and it's just a strong spirit in and of itself. The only other one that I think is potentially better is Kite. So let's get into the deck profile, and before we get going, I just want to let you guys know this is an insanely aggro deck. If that's what you're into, this is definitely going to get you there. Next, first we're going to start this off with Deranged Dragon, Juvenile Dragon, and the Scarlet Egg. So these are the one-drop Dragon core that you're probably going to be playing in any red deck at this point. A very strong Scarlet Egg being reactionary. We did find out that it's not a mandatory effect, so you can use it, you can sack it at any time, keep it on the field, being able to boost things up. It makes it way better. At Gen Con there was some miscommunication between judges from the last video, but yeah, you can use it super reactionary to boost things up after you've declared attacks. Juvenile Dragon, the good old quickness. The only thing that I was really having a problem with this card is the fact that Kite can really mess up your endgame push. So I was trying to find ways around that. I'll explain the ways that I found to possibly go around that later on in the profile. And then just Deranged Dragon, just a solid one-drop core. And then we got my proxy for Shardbeast. Bakugo here, he's pretty absolutely strong. So yeah, Shardbeast is going to be meta defining. I personally think that every single deck should be playing this card, and it's really going to change the way that everybody plays their decks. Dark decks are going to be maximizing on allurement to try to steal them. Just going first and dropping Shardbeast is almost a guaranteed tower break unless your opponent plays a one-drop Guardian of some sort, like Phantasmal Guards or something like that. So it's just so strong, and it's 2,000 attack. It's guaranteed breaking the towers. Great card. Just throw it on the board the second you see it most of the time. Next, we're going to go into the rest of the Dragon core, Exploding Dragon and Booster Dragon. So the reason why we're playing these is just, you got to be playing them dragons. We are actually playing Dragonic Altar. I'll show it to you and talk about it in a minute, which really makes these dragons even more alive. Booster Dragon is very strong. Being able to use the egg to sack into it to get over problem cards after they have Guardianed. I've killed Akuma Juggernauts with this card in pairing it with Dragonic Zone. And then utilizing the Exploding Dragon. This was something that I didn't really get to use too much at Gen Con because I wasn't playing Altar, but the ruined effect of dealing 1,000 actually puts in some works, gets rid of those smaller powered units, and you just gotta play them. You need dragon targets for the deck, so that's those. We got the augments, the super strong augments, Dragonic Zone, and then Altar of the Dragon guy. We got a 3-2 right here. Zone is extremely good, guys. Pumping up units, fire units 1,000, so it works with any fire units. It works with GZ. We're going to show you that later. And then sacking it late game to get the pluses out of the discard is just really, really good. Any fire deck, you're playing 3 of these. As long as dragons are existing, it's going to be good. So, and then Altar of the Dragon God. This was the big card that I added that I did not use in Gen Con, and I've been testing it. I've been liking it quite a bit. There's a couple cool combos with it. Using it with Booster Dragon to bump up units, using it with Exploder Dragon to sacrifice them to pop things. Using it with Wyvern is very, very strong. I'm going to show that off, or show you what that means later in the game, or later in the video. But overall, this card is just very strong. The only thing that I think holds it back a little bit is having to pay an extra 1 mana every time you use it, but this could also be a card that gets way better when more cards come out for the game. So Yes. Then I decided to put a little bit of removal into this deck. When I played it at Gen Con, it was really just a swarm deck, but there really wasn't a lot of removal, so we are now playing 3 Omega Magic Kasai. What this card does is deals 15 to target attacking or blocking unit, and then if you have 2 or less towers remaining, deal 2,000 to target units. So this can be used to end game, advance your pushes when they're trying to guardian with weaker units, or you can literally double down these effects into the same thing, and no guardian outside of maybe Akuma Juggernaut shard draining is going to really stop this kind of a thing, unless maybe they have some other augment on it or something like that. But overall, this card tested really well. A lot of people try to match the pace of this deck when I'm playing against it, so they'll try to break my towers, which kind of furthers my aggro playstyle, lets me draw more, lets me get the tokens, lets me get their board wiped up, and then this card becomes live, and a lot of people don't expect it either, so I really actually like this card in testing, and it really did a lot to stop the Liam decks that were causing me problems earlier trying to play an aggro version of my own. Then we have GZ, the promo from launch day, I believe it was. This card's very good. Arrive, put an explosion counter on a target tower, and then you can exhaust it to remove that counter from the tower you own. If it's face down, flip it face up, deal damage equal to double its defense to target unit, destroy the tower. So basically it forces them to attack into the towers that have these tokens on them. If your towers are face up, you can even see what pluses you're about to get, kind of a strategic advantage for you there. You're popping their units most likely. Playing this on turn 2 is crazy, and then combining it with Yuki is just even more amazing. So overall, this card is kind of just really good even for fire decks that aren't using Yuki, but Yuki just takes it to an entirely different level. Imagine turn 2, you are playing GZ and you're throwing down some Yukis, you're drawing cards. It's just all around good. So I think this card also looks insane. I love the art on it. Apparently nobody knows what GZ stands for, so if anybody wants to take a guess, please put it in the comments. I have absolutely no idea. So let's get into the rest of this. We got Rao Wyvern Rider. I was playing it at 2 for a while, and then I realized I was insane and that it should definitely be a 3 of, and that overall the card combined with Dragon Altar is very good. Being able to sack it off or attack with it, then sack it off, attack with it again, it's just put some late game pressure that your opponent doesn't really have too many answers for. So I really like this card at 3. It's low cost. We play all low cost things in this deck. I took out all the bigger dragons. I don't have Vaemon even in here anymore. This is actually the last red card from the deck. But yeah, it's just very strong aggro. Usually when you're playing this, you're trying to get in very late game and finish the game off. So let's get into the light cards. We got Yuki, the Lightning Flash. So this card, it's a 3-drop, but you're never playing it for the cost. Essentially, if a tower is broken, you play it for free. You can play multiple from your hand. If one tower is broken, it has target attack, which is very important, being able to get through those problem cards if you need it. This card is kind of on a league of its own. Combined with GZ, imagine a turn 2 play where your unit from turn 1 stuck, you GZ, you pop their unit, you bring out a light tower, you play 2 Yukis, and your board is just crazy the start of turn 3, and this card is just too good in this deck. So yeah, very strong. The combos, the potential with this is just, sometimes you just win on turn 3. They can't do too much. Then we play 3 Omega Magic Hikari. Once again, this card can be used defensively, it can be used offensively. It's just a big rush down. Another thing to kind of surprise them at the end of their turn. If they're trying to match your aggressiveness, you can really get in there and finish games off with this card. So I really like it in this deck. And then the last 2 light cards is actually Astonishing Betrayal. The reason why I chose this for my last 2 spots is it's only a 1 cost, and it's pretty good against Liam Kite. That's the deck that I think a lot of people are going to be playing, and it's good all around. Basically, destroy target unit that deals damage this turn. So if your opponent pops or puts quickness on a unit in Liam Kite, put some augments onto it, you can just pay 1, pop it. And it also kind of is a misdirect with Dracoholt you're gonna want to have your 1 mana up potentially to search cards. So a lot of people just don't really see this coming. They think, oh, he's got 1 mana up, he's just going to search a dragon. He wants to keep the play live. So it's just a branch of decision making if you have it up, and it can be really good early game to stop their pushes. So I really like this deck, guys. There's tons of crazy combos that you can do with it. Sola, being able to flip all your units back up at the end of the turn, making it so they can't be attacked, is great. And then soul bursting it to get that pressure. It's just one of the most aggressive decks that I've ever seen, and it reacts with Shardbeast really well. The only card that you really can't play with Shardbeast up in this deck is literally Rao Wyvern Rider. And by then you're probably already winning the game, putting that final push on board. The combos that you can do with GZ, Yuki, Sola, Hikari, at any turn your opponent can be having to deal with 5 cards. And aggro is a bit rough right now because I do think that the towers are pretty big disadvantage for it. But all in all, I've had a blast playing this deck. I think this is the most viable way that you can play a red deck as the main core. So I hope that you guys all give it a chance to test this deck out. Join the Red Nation, the Aggro Nation, and really enjoy the deck profile and try to play with it. But thank you guys very much. Remember to sub up, hop in the Discord, and have some fun playing Argent Saga. Thank you. Peace out. Bye.